Hi guys, I'm making this video because a lot of friends has been asking me why there's a war now between Russia and Ukraine. Why is it so? When it started? Why is it happening? And all. I will share with you guys the things that I know of, and let me start during the 19th century. Actually, during the 19th century, there's a place or a state called Kievan Rus, and that is the home of the Slavic people, which was ruled by Grand Prince Volodymyr in Ukrainian language, Vladimir in Russian language. And got to think of it, both president of Russia and Ukraine are both Vladimir or Volodymyr. Vladimir Putin is the Russian president, and Volodymyr in Ukraine. Well, Ukraine used to be under Russian rule for the longest time, as they were saying. However, it was 1900 when both were under Soviet rule. It's actually a total of 15 countries under Soviet rule, or they call it USSR. And Russia is the most powerful amongst 15 republics, and Ukraine actually ranked second most powerful. That is because they have this defense industry, and they have a vast agriculture lands. And also, let me just inform you that during the World War, okay, Ukraine was the arch rival of US, actually. And well, speaking of Soviet Union or USSR, it collapsed in 1991. And when it collapsed during 1991, Ukraine actually inherited intercontinental ballistic missiles, nuclear warheads, tactical nuclear weapons, statistic bombers, and nuclear tipped cruise missiles. However, it was 1994 when Ukraine gave it up to Russia. But in return, Moscow should promise their safety, security, and Russia promised to protect Ukraine sovereignty. They even actually signed this Budapest Agreement. Budapest Agreement is actually a memorandum on security assurance, which includes Belarus, UK, Kazakhstan, US. That's it. But it seems like I don't know what happened now to the Budapest Agreement. Well, it was 2023 when Ukraine people voted for Viktor Yanukovych. Well, Viktor Yanukovych is actually a heavy-headed person, a corrupt one, as per my research, and pro-Moscow, all right? And he even rejected the EU trade deal. This is actually a trade agreement between several countries. And because he actually rejected it, it's like he avoided integrations from other countries. But he signed the $15 billion bailout from Russia. And during those times, these people in Ukraine, they felt like they were sold to Russia. So they started a protest, and they call it as Euromaidan. Euro because they are in a European country, and Maidan because the protest happened in Kiev Maidan. So the people who did the protest actually were successful because it was 2014-2024 when this Viktor Yanukovych was kicked out of Ukraine and he fled to Russia. And another thing, they were saying that actually war started way back 2014 when Russia invaded Crimea. Crimea is actually an island located in the peninsula, and they were saying that it is actually part of Ukraine, but Russia is claiming it to be theirs. So they sent several armies, started a war there and all like this. And it was 2014 when actually Crimea, okay, did a voting, which country they wanted to be part of, either Russia or Ukraine, and Crimea voted to be a part of Russia. So that is how Crimea become a part of Russia. And another thing, they were saying that the reason why war starts also is because President Putin wants NATO to stop expanding. So for those who doesn't know NATO, NATO is stand for North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which includes 30 countries, which includes Japan, UK, US, Poland, and a lot more. And this is actually an international political and military organization which aims of guaranteeing freedom, security of its member through political and military means. So meaning, if you fight one member of NATO, you will fight all 30 countries that are included with that organization. And that is why Putin wants it to stop. And he doesn't want Ukraine to join NATO. He wants NATO to exclude Ukraine and actually all other countries which is part of the USSR before. But there are already some parts of it that's being, under NATO also. And also, just to give you a heads up, okay, it was 1700. Okay, it started way back long that time. That is why, Ukraine was forcefully Russified by Catherine the Great. So Catherine the Great used to rule Ukraine. It was their queen, but he started to Russify, like force people to speak Russians, do Russians, everything Russian like this. And that is why it was 1800. Ukrainian language was actually banned. So they only can speak Russians. And it was 1930. Stalin. This Stalin started famine. Famine is like, stopping something for the food and all like this. So he started famine. So because of this famine, million people died, and he actually repopulated by ethnic Russians. Because until now, I don't know, but Putin is actually in this thought of having this holy ruse. Russian and Ukraine is actually one. So, but that's way back. Well, it's actually millennial now, so a lot has been changed, and this is actually still not sinking in his mind that, all are having their own independence. So he cannot just simply have his own, kingdom or whatever he wants to have. And another thing, I've been hearing a lot of news also that Russia is in, connivance or tied up with very close tie with China, and they are having some plans or strategic something because actually it's a long story. I'll discuss it to you in my next video. That is because the reason why China is supporting Ukraine, because China has planned on invading Taiwan. So that's the reason. So there's a lot of things now. It's like one tree branched out, like this. So with the China Putin thing, I'll explain to you on my next video. But for now, guys, as I said, this actually started way back before, because they were saying that Ukraine is really a part of Russia. And do you know, guys, that before it even becomes Moscow, which is the capital of Russia, the capital of Russia before is actually Kyiv. So Kyiv is actually the center. So they were like saying that Ukraine is really a part of Russia. But that's not the case now. Russia is different, Ukraine is different. Well, actually, we should respect, the sovereignty of each country.